George Kilpatrick, Inspiration for the Nation, celebrating people that we feel good about. We're at the Financial Empowerment Convention. Dr. James Haywood Rowling Jr. is the chair of the African American Studies Department at Syracuse University, and also a professor of art, and also one of the panelists for the Artpreneurship panel that we heard about. And tell me about your work as an art entrepreneur. And he's also an author as well.
Yes.
And, oh, wait, by the way, he's also married to Michelle. So, which is more, that's the really important job.
That's the important job. Yeah.
All right. So, well, I was going to ask you about the panel, but let me now pivot back to Michelle.
Yeah, so I'll just say real quickly that I have been behind the scenes watching her burn the midnight oil for well over a quarter century. She's been running events like this, and she does it better than anybody I've ever seen do it. So.
And what is your role in all of that?
I carry the boxes. I help her. I encourage her. I encourage her to delegate because she will try to do as much as she can on her own because she's a workhorse. So I just try to help her to mind her own well-being while she's going through this very rigorous process of planning a major event.
What's it like to be the man behind the woman?
Yeah.
Well, but aside the woman, however you want to say it. Yeah. Well, because it's. I mentioned that because if someone is going to be as out front and as projected as she is and focused as she is, somebody on the other side has got to understand what that means.
Yes, and trust me, I do. I mean, a part of this is knowing that this is her calling. She's been doing this for like I say, over 25 years. And so I know that she'll never not be doing this kind of work. And so my goal is always, as the man behind the woman, is to make sure that she's supported, right, as best as I can. Yeah.
And you have your own light as well, which is a fascinating thing. I mean, you ain't no small change. This brother's doing his own thing as well. National chair of.
Yeah, so I'm just finished 6 years as the president of the National Art Education Association, which is the largest professional membership organization for folks who teach art in K through 12, and museums and higher education, teaching artists. So basically, we're actually also the umbrella organization for the National Art Honor Societies and the Junior Art Honor Societies. So that's been a wonderful service. But beyond that, I'm a professor at Syracuse University, and I'm also a consultant, an arts consultant, which is something that comes when you have a large network of folks and a large body of knowledge that you can bring to the table.
Am I correct? Didn't you consult on the Syracuse Community Health Center, the new building on South Carolina in Syracuse? And when you were the curator of art. And that's an example of the kind of work you do as a consultant.
Yeah, so it's behind the scenes. I've done work at the most, which is, having to do with some
Museum of Science and Technology in Syracuse.
In the effort to change some displays to make them more inclusive and more diverse. Instead of only looking like folks who are homogenous and Caucasian. So part of it is creative placemaking. Part of it is the idea of taking in the Syracuse Community Health Center project to take and find folks who can bring art into that space that was therapeutic, that was had a sense of bringing healing and welcoming to that hospital, that really important hospital facility.
So you are also an entrepreneur in the sense that you are in partnership with your wife in Rolling Enterprises, which is part of the business that you guys run together. So, which among other things puts on conferences just like this.
Yeah,
so,
I'm one of the platinum sponsors of this event, JHR, as you can see.
Oh, there you go. So I didn't realize that. So I didn't know what that stood for. So there you go. And so that's also significant.
Yes. Part of it is that we have a philanthropic mindset. How do we give back to our community? Now, obviously, we have transplants to this community. Michelle's from Indiana. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. But this has been
I can't tell. There's no accent.
But this has been our home since 2007, and so we're committed to to giving back as much as we can to the community in as many different ways as we can.
All right, now the panel that you at the time you haven't done the panel yet,
Yeah.
but what do you hope happens with that panel as an art entrepreneur and as an art educator?
So yeah, the panel will take place at 3:30. I have to get there shortly, but the goal is to, with our presenters, London Ladd and Jaleel Campbell, to sort of share how they entered the path of becoming not just creatives, not just artists, but also entrepreneurs, and then to help others who are in the audience to sort of skip over some of the pitfalls and some of the detours and to find the clear avenues that'll help them to get to where they want to go faster in terms of being able to make an income doing this work, to bring in revenue doing this work, and to diversify how they bring in revenue. So all of that we're going to be discussing shortly.
Can you speak to what art means now in a time where the country is trying to is really in sort of a I want to say turmoil. Right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And so what is the power of art in all of its different forms to respond to this moment?
So that's a really great question. It's something that I think about quite a great deal. I've always viewed myself, even though I started off as a K through 12 art teacher, I've always considered myself a creativity educator. And one of the things about creativity is that it's a wellspring of resilience, or what I call creative resilience, where we can sort of like find our way back to our humanity again. And I think that we are at a time of such turmoil and such turbulence that creative resilience is going to be more important than folks have made use of it in the recent past. We're just going to have to find our way back to common sense and mutual well-being and common ground for living. And that is done through the arts, because the arts are shared by all societies, all eras, all communities. It's a way that we have to commune and to connect, right? So that is, I hope, part of what we talk about in the panel today.
All right, so final words for those folks who are watching us and what you want to leave them with in terms of how they might take their creativity and use it in whatever form that they would like.
Well, I guess a final word is that there are many paths to being a creative, making something from nothing, making common ground for living. You need to find your own path and be assured that every human being has the capacity to create. So I just charge folks to find that path for themselves and to begin to exercise it.
The path is within you. James Rolling Jr., he is the chair of the African American Studies Department at Syracuse University. He's an art professor. He's an entrepreneur, and he's inspiration for the nation.